Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. As many of you can tell just by this backdrop alone that I've got behind me, I'm not in my usual spot. I'm actually on a trip for my spring break right now with my family. We're in Joshua Tree, California right now. We've been here for a few days, so unfortunately this week I'm not going to be able to film my regular New Comics Haul series, so I thought that this week we'd do something a little bit different. I'm going to show you guys every book that it's waiting for me back home this Wednesday for New Comic Book Day, March 30th, 2022. I've got, I think, 5 different issues in total. There's only 5 from Marvel. I'm just going to show you guys these digitally, and then hopefully next week I'll just blow through them as part of next week's comic haul once I get them physically. The first issue that I'm actually planning on picking up this week is Immortal XMen issue number 1 from Marvel Comics. This is a new ongoing series. It's the new X-Men run with Kieran Gillen taking over kind of from Jonathan Hickman. This is going to be in the direct aftermath of Inferno and the 10 Lives and 10 Deaths of Wolverine event. I'm not actually getting any X-Men stuff right now. I'm planning on getting this one and X-Men Red. I'm going to try both of those out as part of this whole new Destiny of X, event that they're launching here, relaunching so many of the X-Men titles, and this is all leading into the Avengers X-Men Eternals crossover event, which is called Judgment Day, and that's going to be starting in July, so it's all leading to that. We'll see how that goes. I just want to try out this new number 1. If you guys are getting this, if you've already read it, definitely let me know what you're thinking of it down in the comment section below. Okay, also from Marvel Comics, this week I'm also going to be grabbing Ghost Rider number 2. I did a full review of the first issue. If you want some more information, you can definitely check that one out. I think I gave it like an 8 or a 9 out of 10 in that video. I did really enjoy it. It was just a standalone story, that first issue, about Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze, where he's suddenly this family man in this town, and he's got 2 children, and he's gotten in a motorcycle accident, so he's like seeing a therapist, and by the end of it, there's a huge twist. It ends up being a worse situation than we thought, and it might be a little confusing at first, but I'd say read through the whole issue if you really want to get the scoop on what this series might actually be about leading forward. I'm excited to see what the ongoing plot threads are going to end up being. Benjamin Percy, I have pretty complete confidence in him as a writer, especially for such a cool character like Ghost Rider. We'll see how this ongoing series continues. I've got some faith that it'll shape up to be really good. Another really exciting release which is coming out from Marvel Comics that I'm planning on getting once I get home from Joshua Tree is Hulk issue number 5. So I wasn't a really big fan of the Hulk series for the first few issues. Something about it just threw me off, especially with writing by Donny Cates. He's always the big writer. He writes these huge storylines, creates new ideas that have never before been seen in the comics industry, and with Hulk, with his new Hulk run, he hasn't really done that yet. But last issue, I kind of accepted what I want from this series. I kind of accepted that this Hulk series is not what you would expect from Donny Cates, and that's okay. He's just having fun with this. He might be a little bit tired of creating these big ideas, like Null and the God of Hammers and whatnot. He's just choosing to have a little bit more fun in his Hulk run. Maybe there'll be something bigger coming up. I think issue number 6 is supposed to have a first appearance, but for now, we're just having fun with alternate universes, huge fights, and there's supposed to be Hulk fighting against this Spider-Hulk from an alternate reality. That should be pretty cool. Hulk number 5, I'm definitely looking forward to reading that one too. And to finish off this weird installation of my New Comics Haul series, I've got a couple of Spider-Man themed issues that I'm going to end up getting this week for New Comic Book Day. The first one is Miles Morales Spider-Man number 36. I think this is the last issue of this current story arc that we've got going on. I won't spoil the cliffhanger of number 35, but you've got to read it for yourself. Basically what we have going on in that series right now is Miles and his clone brother Shift, whose Shift is definitely my favorite character of that series right now. They've been infiltrating the Beyond Corporation, which we'll get to in a second in the next issue I'm talking about, which is just this shady organization that turns out they've got a lot of experiments and ties to criminal organizations, despite what a good company they seem to be on the outside. And it's turned out that the Assessor and Quantum, who are like the main villain behind Miles' whole story arc right now, were tied to the Beyond Corporation. Now they've gotten access to the multiverse, and it's all going to go from there. I'm really looking forward to this issue. Even if the series is taking a turn and going with the multiverse, which is like the most familiar trope in Marvel Comics right now, they have way too many series that have to do with that concept. I still think that there's some really great issues to come with Miles Morales Spider-Man. Hop on that series if you haven't been reading it yet. And finally, this is one of the biggest releases of the week, if not the biggest. The last one that I'm going to end up picking up when I get home is Amazing Spider-Man number 93, the final issue of Beyond. This is Beyond chapter 19 getting ready to come out, and it's the final issue of the current Amazing Spider-Man volume. So this is wrapping up this huge overarching Beyond story arc we've had happening. On the cover there you can see Peter Parker in his Spider-Man suit battling Ben Reilly. So there's some sort of battle that's going to end up happening for who gets to claim the mantle of Spider-Man by the end of it. Now leading into the next run, they're going to restart with issue number 1 once again, and it's going to be written by Zeb Wells, who's actually also writing this issue of this run, so he's kind of getting a little bit more experience with Amazing Spider-Man before he becomes the main writer, because with Beyond, beyond, there's been many different writers, many different artists. It's been 3 times a month, so now we're switching back to 2 times a month releases. But there's some big stuff on the horizon for Amazing Spider-Man. I'm really excited to see what the finale has in store, what Ben Reilly's fate is, and what the deal is with the Beyond Corporation by the time everything wraps up. We'll see. If you guys are excited for any of these new releases for New Comic Book Day, let me know down in the comment section below, along with what you ended up picking up today. I'm sorry I couldn't bring you guys my regular New Comics Haul, episode this week. I will probably be showing you the physical issues and maybe like a YouTube Shorts or just as part of next week's comic haul. If you like this video, or if you are new here, if you enjoyed it, make sure to click that subscribe button down below. You can also hit that notifications bell, which is sitting right next to it. You'll be notified every single time I post a new video if you don't want to miss any. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. I'll be back home. Bye guys.